All right. Let's look at this equation. First of all, whenever the k value does not equal positive 1, we have to factor out the k or we won't get the proper transformation. So the first thing we do is we factor k. Always make sure k is factored. So now we have y equals 1/2 square root of negative 2 times x minus 3 minus 3. So notice, you can check. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. Okay. So, the first thing now, it says graph using transformations. So we have to use transformations. So make sure you have your arrows on the axes. Label your axes. Okay. So the first graph we're going to draw is the y equals square root of x graph. That's the first one. So by now you should be quite comfortable with this. 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2, and 9, 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3. So there's our square root function right there. That is graph number 1. Now, the next one we're going to graph is the vertical compression by a factor of 2. So y equals 1/2 root x. So this is, think of y as obedient. You put a half, you multiply all the y values by a half. Y is obedient, right? What you tell it to do, it does. It's this stuff inside the function. Think of it as disobedient, okay? And I'll explain that as we get into that. First, we're going to handle the vertical compression by a factor of 2. So it's vertical, so all the y values are multiplied by 2. No, by a half, sorry. All the y values are multiplied by a half. Here y is 0, a half of 0 is 0. Here y is 1, a half of 1 is a half. Here y is 2, a half of 2 is 1. Here the y value is 3, a half of 3 is 1.5. So here's graph number 2. Now, I handled the half. Now, just follow your equation. Just go from left to right, and you won't get the wrong order because they have to be done in the right order. They have to be graphed in the right order. They have to be described in the right order, or you don't get the right transformation. So that's a half. We took care. This is negative 2. Now, anything that applies in the horizontal direction, think of it as disobedient. This looks like you multiply everything by negative 2, but the graph goes, I'm not doing what you tell me to. I'm going to just multiply it by negative half. It's disobedient. This is a compression by a factor of 2. So every x value will be multiplied by a half. So let's take a look at this. Working with graph number 2, the last graph you drew, 1 times a half is negative 1/2. 4 times a negative half is negative 2. And this is 9. 9 times a negative half is negative 4.5. 4.5. Right there, right? All the x values are multiplied by negative 1/2. So 4 times a negative a half is negative 2. 4 times 9 is negative 4.5. So we take it over there. So this is graph number 3. So right now what we have just drawn is y equals 1/2 root negative 2x. So this is going to look like this. And this is graph number 3. So now finally we can do the horizontal and vertical translations. This is going to the right 3. Remember, just think of x as disobedient. There's a minus sign there, but he says, no, I'm doing what I want. You tell me to go to the left, and I'm going to go to the right. So every point here, we're going to move right 3, down 3. So this point is right 3, working with graph number 3. 1, 2, 3, down 3. 1, 2, 3. This graph is 1, 2, 3. Are we good? Starting with graph number 2. Starting with graph number 3. This is 2. This is 2. 1, 2, 3, down 3. And this is 1, 2, 3, down 3. 1, 2, 3. There's graph number 4. So we just finished drawing 4. Let's see. Y equals 1/2 root of negative 2x minus 3 minus 3, right? Unfortunately, it doesn't fit. Will it fit there? No, it doesn't. I took graph 3 and I went left 3, down 3. Sorry, I went right 3, down 3. So you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if it says transformations, graph using transformations, you have to do that, okay? Are we good? Oh, did I mess something up? That point? So it went 1, 2, 3. This one? This one. So, 1, 2. Oh, I see what you're saying. And this is 1, 2, 3. You're absolutely right. Thank you. Was there anything else? Sorry, that can really throw you off. I don't like doing that. Okay, can we describe them now? Shh. Here, let's do the description. Number 1. Sorry? Okay, we'll do domain and range. We'll do that after the description. Number 1. Vertical compression by a factor of 2. We can do that. Vertical compression by a factor of 2. Number 2. Reflection over y-axis. Three. Horizontal compression by a factor of 2. 4. Horizontal translation, right 3 units. 5. Vertical translation down 3 units. Good? Domain and range, well, domain x such that x is less than or equal to 1, 2, 3, right? Negative 3. X is an element of real numbers. And this is y such that y is greater than or equal to 3. Negative 3, right? Oh, that should be positive, right? Thank you. We really have to do mapping notation. Do you feel? Sure, absolutely. Huh? The one they drew for you. I'm going to do that one because I think you need an example of that one. Okay, let's do this guy. You know, tomorrow I might have to go into some of your poster time because we really have to do these two examples too. But I'm going to do this one and then we'll do as much as we can. Given the function y equals f of x, graph this, describe all transformations being made, state the domain and range. This is the base function. So, what's the first step? What do we have to do before we do anything? Awesome. So there's our function. So instead of a square root function or an x squared function, they drew it for us. So the first thing, just follow the equation. Just run your finger. We're going to handle the vertical compression by a factor of 2. So the first thing we're going to draw is y equals 0.5 f of x. And the second thing we're going to draw is y equals 0.5 f of 0.5x. This is the horizontal stretch by a factor of 2. Then we're going to draw the final graph, which is 3 y equals 0.5 f of 0.5 x plus 2 minus 4. Okay, so the first one is a vertical compression by a factor of 2. Description. 1. Vertical compression by a factor of 2. We're going to graph and draw at the same time. Here the y value is 0, half of 0 is 0. Here the y value is 2, half of 2 is 1. Here the value is negative 4, half of negative 4 is negative 2. Here the y value of y is 2, 2 times a half is 1. So now we can join those vertices. All you have to do is do the vertices and join the dots. So far, so good? So that was the blue one is number 1. I'm going to do you might want to bring different colors and a ruler to the test. So the next one we're going to do now is the horizontal compression by a horizontal stretch by a factor of 2. Horizontal stretch by a factor of 2. So, oh, thank you so much. Yes, we must label the axes. Thank you. All right. So working with the blue graph, the last one we drew, the x value here is -3. So 2 times -3 is -6. The x value here is -1. 2 times -1 is -2. The x value here is +2. 2 times +2 is 4. And the x value here is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. That's our this one. This one? This one? Oh, yeah. So this is a 1, it goes to 2. Thank you so much. I keep Bic White out in business, let me tell you. Okay, there we go. Better? So this is number 2. Now we can go left 2, down 4. Right? Left 2, down 4. So 3, horizontal translation left 2. 4, vertical translation down 4. Okay? We're going to do that in one step. So it's going to be graph number 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're working with the red one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So bring a couple of colors to the test and don't forget your ruler. You're going to need it. What? Horizontal translation. I'm just trying to make it easier for you for writing. So HT equals horizontal translation. VT is vertical translation, okay? So this is graph number 3. We're labeling it here. Let's now do the domain and range. Okay, x such that, now this graph ends, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. -8 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. X is an element of real numbers. Range, y such that, let's see, the lowest point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -6 less than or equal to y less than or equal to the highest point is -3. Okay, let's see how much of mapping we can do. Do you want me to leave it on for a bit? Do you guys still need this? No? Oh yeah, you can just go x is less than or equal to 3. I didn't know where that was coming from. Good? Let's do graphing by... Huh? You need domain and range. Where did I get it from? Oh, this one? So, can you see that the lowest x value is negative 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the highest value is 4. So, the range is the x values along this way. Oh, sorry. Domain is x values along this way. Range is y values along this way. Are we good? Okay. Let's do this guy. This is graphing using mapping notation. Use the fact that the point x, y on the base, this is referring to the basic function, becomes the point x divided by k plus d, ay plus c on the graph of the final function. So this is a little bit wrong here. Change this p to a d. No. Change this p to, I'm pretty sure it's a d, but I'm just going to make sure. Yeah, dc. This is d, this is c. Okay? Did you have a question? Okay. So, what's the first thing I do here? Factor k. So k is negative 2, right? Okay, so first we're going to, what is the basic function here? Sorry? Am I ignoring someone? I just can't hear. We're good? Y equals square root of x with these headphones on my ear. I just want to make more room here. Y equals root x. Okay, so some points are 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2, 9, 3, 16, 4. Okay, if we want to now use mapping notation for this function, we're going to plug all these values into here. This is your x value, this is your y value, okay? So 0 will be this x value of 0 gets transformed using this y value of 0 gets transformed using this. So this is going to be, can you tell me what a is? What is a in this equation? What is k? Negative 2. What is d? 3. What is C? Come on in. Come on in. Just come. So that's our A, K, D, and C. So this is going to, the x value will be x over negative 2 plus D, which is 3. And the y value will be 1/2 y, right? A times y, right? A is a half. Half y plus C, which is minus 3. So let's do it. 0. Plug it in. 0 divided by negative 2 is 0 plus 3 is 3. 1/2 times the y value of 0 is 0 minus 3. See what I'm doing? Plug in 1 for x. Negative 1/2 plus 3 is 2.5. 1/2 times 1 is a half, minus 3 is minus 2.5. So that point gets transformed to that. 4. 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1. No, negative 2 plus 3, right, is 1. A half of 2 is 1. 1 minus 3 is minus 2. 9. 9 over negative 2 is negative 4.5 plus 3, negative 1.5. Negative 1/2 of 3 is 1.5. 1.5 minus 3 is minus 1.5. 16. 16 over negative 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 plus 3, negative 5. 4 times a half is 2. 2 minus 3 is minus 1. So now we can graph it very quickly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2.5, 1, 2.5 minus 2.5. 1, negative 2. Negative 1.5, negative 1.5. Negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 1. That's your graph. That's graphing using transformations. I guess that's all we can do for today.